It's Tuesday afternoon, and you know what that means. It's time for Randominity with the Random Kristian Show. Today, the Random Kristian Show is interviewing blues artist and Reverend Jimmie Bratcher. The Random Kristian Show is brought to you by Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena, a unique blended salsa loaded with cilantro and just the right amount of heat. Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena is available in stores across Northern California, Colorado, Nevada, and Southern Oregon. To find a store near you, just visit mrsafamous.com. The Random Kristian Show is proudly supported by The Advisor. The Advisor is a Facebook group created by Colonel James Neil Broaddus, composed of multi-talents such as actors, directors, artists, writers, and more. If you fall into this category, contact them on Facebook at The Advisor. The Random Kristian Show can now be seen on the Good Wives Network, TV for women by women. The Good Wives Network is streaming now over on Roku, Android TV, and Amazon TV. Intro music provided by the Dead Campers. Check them out on Spotify and at deadcampers.com. Next week, the Random Kristian Show is interviewing comedian John Wessling. My name is Andy, and now here's your host, Kristian Random.
Woosa. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Welcome to the show. It is the it's never more appropriate to have Jimmie Bratcher, blues sensation, on than today, because I will be singing the blues, I'm sure, after eating Earthworm Jerky. So thoughtfully provided by Newport Jerky Company. Well, actually, the guys at work.
So excited for this.
From Newport, Rhode Island. So, yeah. Welcome to the show. Hi.
Hello. What's happening?
It's Tuesday. It's 4 p.m. Central Time, which means it's time for us, the Random Kristian Show. That guy right there, that's Andy.
That's Kristian.
I be Kristian.
Yeah.
Wait.
What? No, you're Kristian. You be Kristian.
I will be Kristian.
Yeah, there you go.
There I am. There I'm Kristian, and he be Andy, and
that's me.
We are together, the Random Kristian Show. Very excited. And by the way, Andy, congratulations on your anniversary.
That's right. 11 years.
11 years, man. Well done. Where's our little?
It's my son plus one.
Well, couldn't have had the son without, the wife. So
right. No, absolutely. But thank you. Yeah, it is crazy that someone would want to hang out with me for more than 5 minutes. So
hey, we do it for about, what?
A couple hours every week. So
every week. So
right.
Color me wacky.
That's right. Yeah. No, both you and my wife are very patient people.
It goes both ways, I believe. Right. Madness loves company, and that's us. And we are mad because again, Jimmie Bratcher, the Reverend Jimmie Bratcher. Hey, his album Far Enough. Well, this is the book, which I'm going to get to in just a second. His album has been on the top of the blues charts for the past few months. I know he hit up into number 2. I'm not sure where he's sitting right now, but man, so good. Just great to listen to. I mean, even if you're not a huge blues fan, man, some of these songs are just rocking. They're so good and just good to listen to, like on us, especially on a Sunday. I was listening to it driving around, and it was cool. It was nice.
That's cool.
So now back to the book, which he wrote, called Stories and Songs. Jimmie Bratcher and Eric Stark helped him co-write it. I've got a signed edition right here by Mr. Jimmie Bratcher, and it's got his latest release in it.
Nice.
And there's also a code in there for some limited edition stuff and things like that from
very cool
Jimmie Bratcher Library. So we are going to auction this off because, again, kids, it's time for Run to Stop It. That's right. The nonprofit charity that helps stop human trafficking and sex trafficking. It's something very near and dear to our hearts. We've had Russ Tuttle and Lee Thompson on from these programs to help stop all this, and we're very excited to once again lend a hand and do what we can. Hey, man, every little bit helps one way or another. So what we're gonna do is for the next month till the end, till we'll go till after July 4th, and we're going to accept bids for this signed book, Far Enough, by Jimmie Bratcher, and with his latest release on it. Again, it's all going to help Run to Stop It. 100% of those proceeds goes to help stop human and sex trafficking throughout the U.S. So please put your bids in. Go to the randomchristianshow@gmail.com. You can give me your bid there, and I will keep them all, and then we will just, whoever gets the highest bid wins at the end. And just keep watching. I'll try to keep updates as we go along for our responses and whatnot. And let's just help raise some money for this great cause.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Maybe we'll get Russ Tuttle back on again to talk some more about all of this. In the meantime, this month, Jimmie Bratcher on today, right?
Yeah.
Jimmie Bratcher. Next week, like you saw, John Wessling. Oh my gosh, this guy is freaking hilarious, and he's got he's done some TV stuff.
So he's also a comic on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yes,
he's touring the country right now, doing I believe a military tour. And has a movie coming out as well.
That's
a lot of irons in the fire for Mr. Wessling.
Oh my gosh, he is just
he's really
smoothly
really
funny. It's like all of a sudden you're just like, wait, what did he just say? He's one of those comics that just he hits you when you're not even ready to be hit, and it just keeps coming. And I was watching clips of his stuff, and just
I'm excited. I'm excited to have him on. Yeah.
And now he was also on Dry Bar Comedy Circuit, right?
I'm not sure that he has a dry bar.
I thought he was on Dry Bar also.
He might have done one. That'd be an accomplishment for him.
Yeah. So anyway, John Wessling coming up next week. The week after that, our good friend Bishop Stevens, actor extraordinaire, is going to be on here dropping some big truth bombs and news about what he's got going on. Several movies, again, just like John Wessling. Got a lot of irons in the fire, stuff that he has not been able to talk about. And it's Bishop. He doesn't really do interviews, so we are very honored that he selected us to come on and talk about what he's got going on. So Bishop Stevens the week after that. And then right before the 4th of July weekend, 4th of July Tuesday, because we ain't going to be on, you know what I'm saying? It's 4th of July. We're going to be out trying to blow up our fingers.
You don't work on 4th of July. We don't work on 4th of July.
Yeah. Unless you work for my company, which I might be working. So that
sucks.
Yeah. My company sucks. Anyway. We're going to have Stephen Quakenbush, retired Army captain. He actually works with what's called Honor Flight America. And what it does is it takes veterans, decorated veterans, and takes them to the White House, takes them to meet the president. They do all these special great things for these
that's great.
War veterans that have fought so hard for us, and it's a great honor for him. And we're actually going to get hopefully one of the veterans on the show as well with him. We're working on it. We got a couple things that we're working on just to show our recognition and our gratitude for these guys and what they've done, the men and women, I guess I should say.
We have a great June lined up for you guys. That's what we're trying to say.
And we're already working on July. So lots of good things going on. I guess I've delayed as much as
I know you're stalling so bad right now.
Stalling so much.
Tim Mila, hello. What's going on, man?
Let's get that chat enabled for everybody watching at home. And yeah, I know Tim's probably really been looking forward to this one because he heard about it at work. I work with Tim.
So no more stalling right now. Let's rip that sucker open.
Okay.
All right.
So
try to do the Tony Adams rip and sniff.
Should we do the random 9 list first, or
if you want to stall even more, sure.
Well, I don't want to be gagging.
You don't want to have the Earthworm Jerky taste in your mouth while you're doing the random 9 list.
No, I'm thinking, the constant regurgitation throughout the random 9 list might be a bad idea.
Let's just do that through the interview. Why not? Why not? No, let's get the bit out of the way. We'll have the earthworm stuff in my mouth during the interview.
Okay.
Do you have your bucket ready? Is your bucket nearby?
I have paper towel.
Okay. Well, this could get messy. Now this is more exciting.
I love the fact that you love watching my future demise.
I this is fun. So I mean, this is like literal earthworm jerky. This is earthworm cooked to the point of very little recognition. It's thinned out, dried out earthworm meat.
Yes.
Right.
Let me explain. Yes, we do the taste testing here on the show. The guys at work loved it, and they loved seeing me do this. So they love the bit of us doing taste tests. Yeah,
they don't actually love the earthworm jerky, right?
Yeah, and they love seeing your reactions of of when I have to eat stuff. So this, I'm going to read the ingredients.
Yeah, do this. All right.
Ingredients: grilled earthworm.
Grilled. So they cooked it. That's good.
I guess.
Hey, this is the food that we're gonna have to deal with when the zombies come, man. All right, so like you're getting a head start on some of the delicacies.
This may turn me into a zombie.
Right. All right. Grilled earthworm. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. Marinade is made of sugar, lime powder, smoked paprika powder, garlic powder, onion powder, red chili, spices, vinegar, salt. And of course, can't do anything else without a little MSG. So
of course, no, yeah. There you go. All right. So there's a lot of
okay. There is a best before date on here.
Well, yeah. Earthworms go bad. Okay. How long does it last?
I've got till April 30th, 2024.
That's okay. That's the solid shelf life right there. I mean, come on.
And then there's allergy advice. Well, there it is. I'm allergic to earthworms, so
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out pretty soon. All right.
Allergy advice: crustaceans to maintain
sniff.
To maintain freshness. Bag also contains 1 oxygen absorber.
There you go. All right. No, this is
like
great,
I'm gonna be able to taste the difference.
Hey, they're preparing it and packaging it the best possible way.
So yeah, like I showed earlier on a promo.
Rip and sniff.
It's sealed.
And sniff. Oh, there you go. Sniff it.
Well,
sniff
hold on. I got to get it all the way open first.
Now, did they pack it in fake dirt as well?
I don't know. I'm not there yet. Dude.
Okay, come on. You ripped it open.
I know. Well, it's still sealed. So.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. Pop it and sniff. Come on.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I know I have a very sensitive microphone. Oh my God. And that wasn't even open.
No.
It's still in a sealed bag.
Oh, wow. That's really
okay.
It was that bad from that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
what does it smell like?
Yeah, it was very smoky. I think that's the whole thing. Now that I'm getting a better, the first was just such a big inhale.
Sure.
It smelled like a burning tennis shoe. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
now the official.
Now the official, product open. Here we go.
Grip. Okay.
All right,
I'm trying.
Maybe just go a little easier on the rip and sniff this time.
There we go. Oh, dude.
Is it bad?
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. And for those listening at home on the podcast version of this,
they're little tiny bits.
It is Earthworm Jerky. Trying to give you, Andy, if you can give him a better description than.
Well, wow, that looks like that doesn't look appetizing in any way.
It looks like dried snot.
Okay, are we sure that that's the actual product? You didn't get something wrong? It doesn't look appetizing in one way at all. Like, not that Earthworm Jerky would be appetizing to anybody. However, at least make the product look appetizing.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to need to go wide on this, Chris.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we can get full reaction. So go ahead.
I'm trying to find a little piece. I'm just trying to find
you're going to have to bite. You're going to have to get the jerky.
You're going to make me do like the pickle cotton candy.
Well, now you got to rip it off with your teeth. Come on. Let's go. Ready?
Whatever.
Set. See, look, Math Sharp is here. Go big or go home. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's do this. Ready?
Okay.
Set.
Here it is right here.
Oh, that's a much better piece.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Sure it is.
It looks awful. All right.
Hold on, I'm getting the paper towel ready.
Okay, ready? Set. Go. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's crunchy. It almost okay. Now this is great. The look on Kristian's face is of one of just complete and utter pain. This is like trying to feed my kid a vegetable. So
oh my God.
I'm assuming that it didn't live up to not up to snuff there.
Oh,
can you describe your feelings?
Dude.
Yes, Matt. Yes.
Oh.
Matt says I should screenshot this and put it on the next T-shirt. I completely agree. Print screen.
As it's crunchy.
Yeah. It almost sounded like a chip going in. Like
yeah.
Do you have to chew for it, or did it break
chewing.
up?
I'm still chewing.
Okay. Oh, so you're still experiencing the wonderment of Earthworm Jerky.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Lois is giving an ew.
Dude, okay. So at first you kind of get the flavor that they marinated.
Yeah. Lois, he was supposed to bring a bucket with him.
I tried to be a man.
Oh, and Mrs. A is here. Hi, Mrs. A. Yeah,
I need some salsa. Oh, I swallowed it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God.
All right. That's amazing. Alert!
No!
Red alert!
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, that was so no bueno. Oh my God.
So now that we're coming back from this, all right.
Yeah.
Was there any? I mean, did you just get like all of the flavoring, and did it just feel like? Was there? Did you get? Did you get any? Was there any? Like, did it taste like any normal jerky that you've ever had, or?
You got the whatever they flavored it with.
Oh
my God.
Yes, Lois. Yes, tonight, Earthworm Jerky tacos for everybody. Chop it up, chop them up, maybe give it a little moisture in there. He's not gonna make it.
Oh, dude.
He's not gonna make it.
Dude.
I live for this. I really do.
You get the marinade flavor, the crunch, and it's not so bad. Then all of a sudden, that just starts going away, and you actually. Well, It's just Earthworm at that
yeah,
point.
at that point, yeah. So after you get past the flavorings, you actually get to the meat of it, and you can taste
Literally,
it.
yeah.
And does it feel, I mean, like, I would assume that in your brain, it tastes like, no, that's a solid play, Lois. I definitely wait till mouthwash happens and teeth brushing happens for sure. So, okay, how are we feeling? So now,
okay,
does it taste like what you think an earthworm would taste like at that point?
And how I was bragging earlier, I guess knocked my camera out.
Yeah, no, we should have. We should have, Matt. We should have dipped it in some Mrs. A's to make it.
Well, that would have made it delicious,
right? Yeah,
Mrs. A's salsa wouldn't, make it make a shoe taste delicious.
Right.
Oh my good Lord. Oh Father.
There you go. Switch it around.
Oh yeah, dude.
Get all that out.
It doesn't go away. It's worse than the. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So what? Oh, we're not doing random 9 lists now.
No, I this went way better than I thought it could have gone. But we should pass on it. We should get our guest in. We could do it. Yeah, I mean, we could do it after if we
maybe want. After. Yeah, we don't need to keep Jimmy waiting.
No. Let's get our guest in here. But all right. So have another quick drink. Just get everything out of there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. That was
priceless. All I taste. Well,
it makes me think of the it was the Demolition Man, the movie with Sylvester Stallone where they go down below and he has to eat the rat burger.
No, that would be delicious compared to this. We need some bacon, not jerky, earthworm jerky.
Right.
Oh my Lord. Oh, dude, it's lingering, for God's sake.
Well, it's gonna be there for a while. We should have packed some mouthwash or something.
Oh. My lovely wife just came and brought me a mint.
Yes. Thank you, Lois.
Thank you, love. Notice how she didn't give me a kiss.
No, absolutely not until
she's like, I'm getting a fire hose and rinsing.
Yeah, no, not until some mouthwash and toothbrushing, and even then, like
that's helping so much.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay. All right, moving on.
Wow, that was. There you go.
That was one of those.
Well done.
Oh, you know what? I even had a crawler ready for that and everything.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It sucks to be me. Yeah. See, here it was right here. Tasty taste testing time.
All right.
Not anymore. It's over with. No, now we're gonna move on to let's use I Can't Turn You Loose. That's a little Sam and Dave kind of thing. And let's bring in our guest. He's been hitting the blues charts big time with his new release, Far Enough, as we were just talking about. He's got a book out as well, Songs and Stories. And he's a preacher. He's a man of the faith and just a heck of a guitarist, and does an amazing job. And this new album, Far Enough, exemplifies all of that. So kids, let's bring him in right now. The Reverend Jimmie Bratcher. Where is he? There he is. He's shaking his head at me. Jimmy, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing, buddy?
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here and putting up with. Okay, it's going. Oh my God, it's overpowering the mint.
Well, you just you just take care of yourself, and Andy and I'll talk.
There we go. So Jimmy, what's the weirdest thing that you've eaten?
Well, I'm not going to talk about it.
No, we don't have to. Yeah, Jimmy, no, it's wonderful to have you on the show, man. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Jimmy, I know you've got a lot going on, but man, this new album you've got, dude, Far Enough is just absolutely amazing. I listened to it from beginning to end. I mean, the sound. I love the horns, by the way. Oh my gosh, that horn section. And now, were they out with you when you did your release at Knuckleheads, your album release?
We had an 11-piece band for that.
Wow. Oh, dude. Man, I had to work. I could not get out of it. And
what can you do? You know,
but dude, I'm sure that was awesome.
It was a great night. We had 2 hours and we filled it. We did every song on the album.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So we had most of the people that actually played on it, including the engineer Matthew Russo, was there to mix front of house.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Sounded great, and it was just a great night. So we're grateful to Knuckleheads for hosting us, and everybody that came out and spent the evening with us.
Nice.
All of my kids were there.
Yeah, dude.
You know, one of my grandsons was there. So what else? Sherry was there.
Sherry, your amazing wife. Her and my wife talk quite a bit, I guess. Now, all right. So let's get down to the roots of all of this. You've obviously, I mean, you love playing guitar. Have you always been really into music since a kid? You were a kid. Do you start with piano, tap dancing? What'd you do?
Well, I started, guitar was a deterrent to juvenile delinquency with my dad.
Well, then we're all in good company here. So.
Yeah. And now my dad, when I was about 12, he borrowed an electric guitar and amplifier on a summer weekend from a guy at work and brought it home. And I didn't leave the house.
Yeah.
Summertime, 12, you don't leave the house. And I was a baseball fanatic. So that was like, you know, so he's like, something's up with this. So we had a car that he wasn't driving, a 1958 DeSoto. There's actually a picture of it in the book. Wow. And he ran an ad in the Kansas City Star and said, we'll trade 1958 DeSoto, 2-door Hemi. It'd be worth a bunch of money right now. That's it. That's me at 12. And he said, we'll trade that car for electric guitar and amplifier. And we got one call. And I walked out with this.
No, you still have it. Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah, I played it on the album, so it's it has a story in itself. You know, when I was 13, I dropped it, broke the headstock off of it, and I thought he would kill me. Instead, we picked up the pieces. He took it to the garage. We got out the C clamps and the Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Oh.
In 1960, I was either 66 or 67.
Wow.
And so this guitar has been held together that long with Elmer's glue. And it's been refinished twice. So after I broke it, he had my Uncle Joe put black paint over the white, painted it this nasty blue color. And it was just ugly. I wouldn't even touch it. It was so ugly.
Yeah.
And then when I got serious about playing it, I took it to a guy, Jim Carlson, in St. Joseph, Missouri, who builds guitars. In fact, if you see me playing a red guitar, that's one of his builds. And I told him about it, and he said, man, my dad was an alcoholic. I had to leave home when I was 13. That story touches my heart. Leave it here. So he refinished it. Red, a real nice SG colored red with 17 coats of lacquer, and it was absolutely beautiful. And one day I thought I'd like to have this guitar to look like it did when my dad gave it to me.
Yeah.
I took it to another guy who was building guitars for me at the time, Dave Seif, who was a paint chemist. And he did this. He took the guitar and goes, that white paint's still under there.
Oh, no way.
So he gave me some stripper. It was called the Safest Stripper. And I started layer by layer taking that all off. And so this is the original paint on the guitar.
No way.
Yeah. And no. And so the illustration is that
my gosh,
we had to touch the back of the neck up and some places down in here, but the body of
Yeah.
the guitar, that's the original paint.
Wow.
My illustration is like, you know, we all have this thing called life. We break it, we fracture it, we tear it up, and we try our best to cover up all the crap in our life.
Yeah.
And never the same.
Right.
Right.
Give it back into the hands of the master. He can take it and he can restore it and make it all
Yeah.
like it was intended to be. So that was the beginning. I still have the amplifier too.
Wow.
Oh,
So is
no way, dude.
is that the guitar that you record with, that you gig with the most now?
No, I mean, I do, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I take it out, but it's
Yeah.
kind of, you know, it's just rock and roll. That guitar
Right.
is straight on rock and roll. So,
Yeah.
but I do take it out. It's very playable and very, very solid. So
Yeah.
it's a great
Nice.
guitar. So I started there, and then, you know, rock and roll, sex, drugs, all that stuff was my goal.
Mhm.
At 19, I met my wife, Sherry, at a Black Sabbath concert at Memorial Hall in Kansas City.
Whoa.
Oh, that's excellent.
First time they were ever in America. And,
Wow.
and she shortly got pregnant, and we got married 6 months into the pregnancy. And 3 years into our marriage, we got in a fight one night that I lost. And my and you know, after having reconstructive surgery on my face,
Oh, wow.
my grandmother
Wow.
came to visit me, and she said, "Baby, I will give you the money if you just get a divorce." And so we got a divorce. We went through the whole thing, and our son Jason was about 3, 4, and about 9 months after the divorce was final, we started seeing each other again. And of course, we couldn't tell my grandmother because she wanted her money back.
Right. Yep.
And,
Yep.
but we stumbled into a little church in Northwest Missouri with a marriage license, and the only way the pastor would marry us was if I would give my life to Jesus. And I had no intention of doing that. He was bigger than me, and I was afraid of him.
Right.
And so I did. And Jesus invaded my world that night, our world, our family. And but anyway, I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
No, this
So
is
shortly
what it's
after
about, man.
that, he the pastor of that church came to me and he said, "You got to quit playing that devil music." And so for about 20 years, I pretty much stopped playing music.
Really?
And I didn't stop playing, but I stopped playing.
Right.
I stopped being myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I finally, about 1992, I discovered that there was only two kinds of music, good and bad. And so it was liberating to me. In fact, Eric Stark, who wrote a lot of the songs on the new album and did the horn arrangements and played lap steel and played piano, he was a big factor in me getting free from bad religion. And so that
Now, you mean the band or the
No.
what's that?
the band Bad Religion, or just bad?
No.
Well, you can do that. I mean, my most popular song is called Bad Religion.
Yes. Yeah, it
You
is. I was very intrigued when I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
And
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
so anyway, so in 1994, Sherry and I joined the staff of a large church, very successful church. In 2000, the Lord asked me a question. The question was, "Can you do this for the rest of your life?" And my answer was yes, because we were very successful. And then he was setting me up, and he said, "And be happy." And I said, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
these dreams in my heart, and so at 45 years old, we resigned our position on March 1st, 2000, and we started a different journey. So here we are, 23 years later, 13 albums later.
Wow.
Played all over America, some in the UK. We do a lot of churches. We do a lot of music venues. We do a lot of prisons. We do some homeless events, and just, have used the music and the ministry to try to encourage people to discover the reality of who they are in Jesus. So he loves them. So
well, and your story is pretty compelling too, man.
No, that's
and the
amazing.
way you tell it while you're playing, and the stories that you bring. I've seen you, a couple times at the church.
right.
And I just love the way, you mix the music in with the story. And I mean, it's just an amazing job. So now, okay. So you mentioned good and bad music. Let's go back to this for a second, because I mean, honestly, there's a lot of music that I just don't like. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but and of course there is some there's just god awful music. It's horrible. But anyway, so what are, in your terms, what is good and bad music?
Well, I mean, that's the contrast there was, is it devil music or is it God music?
Right.
And
Sure.
because, I don't want to get real deep theologically, but the devil has no creative abilities. Only man has creative abilities, because we were created in the image and likeness of God, the creator.
Right.
So we are created, and we have the ability to create. And so we can use that one, whichever way we want.
Right.
But, good and bad music is, I like a little bit of everything. If I can sense that it's emotionally connected to the musicians, the writers, those things, then, it's one of the things I like about being in the UK. Used to be, it's not so much anymore, is that their radio is like, Johnny Cash and Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
Right.
It's like everything all together. And I love that about, that variety. And I wish that we had, well, I guess now we do, it's kind of up to us to make our own lists and do all of those things. So, but very, very little, music is a subjective thing, and it depends on the talent and the capability, the skill of the individuals to make it good or to make it bad.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's true. And I, like I said, I there's all sorts of different genres that I love in music. I mean, I'm very heavily ska and punk based, but but I mean, just rock, classic
the
rock.
punk thing goes with the Earthworm Jerky, I think. It would go over well at a ska concert. It's like you should have a table, a little booth.
I could talk to my friends and see what they say.
Yeah,
I got a couple friends in some big bands. So
I mean, what can I tell people now? It's like, hey, I was on a podcast and a guy was eating worms. I mean, it's like,
hey, you may not want to lead with that.
Right.
That eats worms. I mean, so
it's definitely not our strongest foot forward.
Yeah, definitely probably save that one for the afterward.
Well, on that note, there's good podcast and bad podcast. That's bad podcast right there.
Not gonna lie, that's not my proudest moment.
Right.
Well, I like what Michael Thomas Angel said. Get that man some bacon.
Yes.
That's we need we had the gentleman on called the Bacon Whisperer, and just does everything all about bacon, and we still
Did you play my song about bacon for him?
Oh no, I did not.
We gotta put that in his ear. Yeah,
and he's a big influencer, so I will tell him to start using that.
Yeah, the album that I did before this was called "I'm Hungry," and
there he is,
Bacon Whisperer. He's there. It was called "I'm Hungry." So I have written a few songs about food through the years, and I've threatened forever with my kids. It's like, I'm going to do a whole album of songs about foods. And so my daughter came up with this idea. She goes, why don't we do a cookbook? So we wrote a 196-page cookbook. And then I recorded an album of all songs about food.
Wow.
One of the most popular is called Bacon is on My Mind.
Yes.
It did real well. I mean, it was like on the top 50 blues albums charts for 7 months. It peaked at number 3, I think, and spent 7 weeks in the top 10. And the French loved this bacon song. I don't know what it was about the French people and bacon, but they liked it. So anyway.
We love this smoky swine.
Ain't nothing, one line is, there ain't nothing shaking until you got bacon. There's a YouTube lyric video out there for it on my channel. You can find it.
Oh, I think he's just pulled it up right there. Yes. It's just got that deep.
Oh, man.
Takes me back home from wherever I roam. I remember it well every time.
Dude, so great. Now, let me ask you something. Your style of blues that you kind of you have varying influences you can hear throughout your style of playing even. Who are some of your biggest influences that have inspired you to create what you've put together?
Well, my parents forced me to listen to both kinds of music, country and Western.
Okay.
And so I have that background. I did an album, I don't know, 2017 called This Is Blues Country. And I took a lot of classic country songs that my parents forced me to listen to in the 50s and 60s and redid them in blues rock style. But I was really heavily influenced by Eric Clapton.
Okay.
And Hendrix. But, I tell people it's like I was the only guy I knew that I owned Jimi Hendrix, Axis Bold as Love, and Johnny Cash live at Folsom Prison.
Right.
So I whole spread, but Clapton led me to an album that he did called the Howlin' Wolf London Sessions. And so it was Howlin' Wolf and Hubert Sumlin, and then like the Rolling Stones and Steve Winwood and Clapton.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Came out in 1970. And so when I found that, it's like, that's the train I'm on. But I've always been a rocker, and I'm really one of my friends produced a couple of my albums. Jim Gaines, he's a legendary Grammy Award-winning producer, primarily for his work with Stevie Ray Vaughan and Carlos Santana.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he told me one day, and it sounds like an insult. He goes, "You're really not a lead guitar player. You're a singer-songwriter, and your music should be all over the road," and it is. And so, that's I don't, now, I mean, before, like in the before the advent of streaming music, it was an album world. Now it's a singles world.
Yeah.
So you can be that, you can do that and get away with it. So it's like the new album, there's some soul influences on there. There's some Americana influences on there. There's some rock influences on there. It's just kind of all over the road. So
yeah.
Right. And I was going to say that was one of the things I really noticed about this. You're kind of, you're labeled as blues, but man, this album has so much else going on with it. And it's like every different track, I was just like, okay, well, this isn't really, I mean, it was great and I was digging it. And like I said, I don't know who your backup people, the vocals were, but you had just a great group of people singing behind you too, man. The horns.
Everybody on the album was from Kansas City.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
And we recorded it here. We actually we started to go to Jim Gaines in Tennessee, south of Memphis, to his studio. We actually went. We loaded everything in the studio. I took my grandson Zane, Zane Truxell, who's starting to write and produce his own music, because I wanted him to have that experience. And we got all set. We drove 9 hours, got all set up in the studio, went to bed to get a good night's sleep. Next morning, I woke up, went on a walk. Zane met me at the door as I came back, and he said, "I'm not feeling good." And he was COVID positive.
Uh-oh.
And
no.
Jim's in his mid 80s. And so we loaded up and came home. And that left us with the opportunity then to do everything here in Kansas City. So it's a Kansas City album.
But hey, I mean, what better place than record at home?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot to be said for recording studios all over the place. Everybody's got their own nuances with their booths and their sound machine, the recording equipment that they use. But especially when you're at home and the studio, you know what you can get sound wise out of something wherever you're at, and the people that you work with.
It's only like a mile from my house.
Yeah,
that's great.
That makes it even better.
That was easy, and they were gracious enough to host us. So,
wow, that's so nice. But yeah, this release now, how are you sitting on the charts right now? Because man, you've been up there for a while.
I think we're still in the top 10 on the blues rock chart.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I hadn't checked it lately. I know the other week you were still within the top 10.
Yeah, we did number 2, which is so close to number 1.
Hey, number 2 is always trying harder, so that's more important.
I appreciate people all over the world being able to hear it, and that's our publicist has done a really good job getting that out to radio and media to make that happen. So
yeah,
really honored by that. But the book, the whole idea of the packaging is that, streaming music, I love to stream music. I like having access to everything that's out there, but it pays, like a song streamed on Spotify pays 1/30th of a cent.
Right.
Welcome to podcasting.
Yeah, I know. On YouTube, it's even more glorious. It's 1/600th of a cent.
Yeah.
And what streaming services want to see now is they want to see, from music anyway, they want to see a constant stream of music. So they want to release every 4 to 6 weeks. And Michael Thomas Angel finance the Buffalo Bills. And so anyway, I wanted to kind of, because everything that we do is a not-for-profit. All of the income that comes from everything that we sell goes into the not-for-profit. I don't take any commissions or royalties from that. It all goes into that to help us to be able to fund what we do outside in, venues that can't afford to pay us. Like, for instance, next Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday we're in Oswego, Kansas at a prison. Wednesday we're at Ellsworth, Kansas at a prison. We'll have 900 men attend that event.
Wow.
Ain't nobody buying nothing, and ain't nobody giving us no money for that.
No.
So,
right.
So anyway, back to this. So we packaged the book being, it's a full color glossy page book. Every song has its own individual piece of art. And then in the back of the book, there's this round thing called a CD. I had to go out and buy a CD player the other day.
Right.
There's a link to an access page that instantly gives you a private streaming link for the whole album.
Wow.
It gives you all of the videos, all the early release stuff that comes out. And so, we're selling these for $30. and you get the CD, you get streaming access, and then as we've released 2 singles so far, the song Far Enough, and then last week the song Don't Bring That Evil Around Here came out. And so we'll continue to do that every 4 to 6 weeks until the album's up fully online. So
Right on. And we put down here on the crawler where you can go to www.jimmie, Jimmie Bratcher, BRATCHER.com for those of you listening on the podcast version. And you can go there and find out wherever Jimmie's going to be. You can pick up the book. You can get the album, disc or stream. You can get the music there.
Yes.
That's
and
perfect.
more. There's others. Our books are there. We've written 5 books, and so those are all out there too as well.
Yeah, no, and now you were talking about how you're going to prisons and playing there for these gentlemen. Now you're also there giving the word, trying to help bring people into God. Do you ever get any drawback or a backlash from going in there and doing that from other people, or even from the prisons themselves? I mean, are there a lot of them that go, nah, we don't want to go that route?
Well, not so much anymore, because there's a lot of research and a lot of statistics on the impact of inmates attending Bible-based programs.
Mm-hmm.
The recidivism rate is currently, I think it's like 76%.
Oh, wow.
If an inmate, if I believe this is correct, if it's not, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I looked at it. The statistic is that flips from 76% to 24% if an inmate will participate in some kind of Bible-based program while they're in prison, which is pretty phenomenal statistic. So a lot of prisons, state of Kansas, where we'll be next week, they are pioneering some really innovative programs. We did an event in Mississippi in February at a place called, it was Mississippi State Penitentiary, but it's known as Parchman Farm. It's considered to be the worst prison in America.
Oh, wow.
20,000 acres, 9 prisons, 4,800 inmates, some cell blocks as soon as up to 2020 had no electricity.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude.
Just the federal government stepped in and took over control because of the atrocities that were taking place.
Wow.
But they hired a new head of Department of Corrections in Mississippi, a guy by the name of Burl Cain. Burl Cain was the warden of the Angola, Louisiana State Penitentiary, which was the bloodiest prison in America. And he completely revolutionized that to be the model. And the way he did it was really twofold. Number one, dignity for the inmates. And number 2, the gospel. He's petitioned New Orleans Baptist Seminary to put a seminary on campus inside of the prison. And then those believers that were seriously committed and wanted an education in theology could get a master's degree in theology. And so at Parchman Farm, 4,800 inmates, 2 full-time chaplains, but every housing unit has a pastor that they call
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
And so it's revolutionized. And Kansas has a program like at Ellsworth, where we'll be next week. Early 2000s, the warden and the chaplain got together. They raised $500,000 in private money in the state of Kansas, allowed them to build a building inside of the walls of the prison called the Spiritual Life Center. And that program now is the model program for every prison in the state of Kansas. Things of all faith happened there, but we were there last summer, and the warden and I were talking, and he pointed at the building, and he said, everything in this prison starts and ends there. And so they're seeing the impact. And one of the things that we do, like at Parchman Farm, we not only perform, but we raise the money, and we give each of the inmates a copy of one of our books. So this is a book, my first book, titled Don't Take Your Dreams to the Grave. I visited Death Row in Kansas for Christmas. And one of the first cells I walked up to, the inmate smashed a copy of this. Granny paid for our divorce, which is my story. He smashed a copy of this up against the window and goes, "I'm reading your book right now."
Oh, wow.
1,350 of these books to those men at El Dorado as Christmas gifts in 2022.
That's
And
awesome.
so no, we don't have a lot of pushback. Some states are more open than others to
Sure.
what we do, but for the most part, they want all the help they can get to get men to respond to, really who God created him to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and do you get a lot of guys that like, might testify to you or anything? And I mean, do you get a lot of that during the, during your after performance or before or something?
Well, sometimes we do, but one of the first rules is you don't ask what they did. And,
Yeah,
right.
Because you don't want to know. And, but yeah, like one of the guys we took to Parchman is a chaplain that got all this started in the state of Kansas. His name's Herbie Harris. And I met Herbie in the mid 80s when he was incarcerated in Leavenworth. He was convicted of an international drug smuggling operation. And when he came to faith in prison, when he got out of prison, he went to seminary. He ended up being the chaplain at El Dorado. He's now the chaplain. Oh, well, he is the chaplain at El Dorado, Kansas, at the Supermax there.
Mm-hmm.
And so his story's phenomenal.
Wow.
And I was sitting here the other day on a Sunday night, and I get a text from a number that I don't know who it is. And the text says, is on a Wednesday. The text said, got out on Sunday, got a phone on Wednesday. And I'm like, who is this? And so I responded and said, congratulations. Who is this? And it's a guy that we have seen for over 20 years. And he was finally paroled and released. I don't know what he did, but he's a guitar player. He was from here in Kansas City. And he's working. He's trying to change and to get out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
After 20 years, there's a guy that made me a guitar strap, and I saw him last summer, and he said, I've been locked up for 35 years, and I'm getting ready to go before the parole board, and he said, I don't want to get out. He said, I love my job. I love the people that I work with, and I don't have anything out there. And so it's really a challenging thing for those guys when they get out, and girls when they get out. But
sure,
we just in May on the day after we did the CD release party, we were able to go to Chillicothe to the women's prison there. We had about 400 women, and my daughter Jessica. That's another story, another book. I met Jessica for the first time in 2011, and when she was 38 years old. And so, but we were able to go to that prison the day before Mother's Day and to present them our story. And we're going to go back hopefully in the fall, and we'll give all 1,700 of those women a copy of Jessica and my book called The Little Girl Wins, which is a story of how we met and reconciled our backstories and all of those.
Wow.
Tremendous story. There's a YouTube video out there of her and I telling that story live. And we've done that at church before. You've maybe been there when we did that.
Yeah. No, that's wow. That's just incredible. So that kind of negates one of the questions I was going to do. You also do women's prisons, but apparently so.
Yeah.
Now, and I know your wife, she's a huge part of what you do. And I think it's just absolutely amazing that you guys, work together so well. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Now, was there some struggles with that? I mean, again, you're married, once you're married, you cleave together, but sometimes, you need that little buffer zone every now and then. Do you guys ever find that that's ever a problem? Or, I mean, you guys give each other enough space, or, because I know, like I said, she's very involved with everything y'all do. So,
Right. Yeah. When we started this phase of our life in 2020, so 23 years ago, our kids had just both been, at that time, we only had two.
Yeah.
Jessica didn't come around for 11 years, but
Wow.
so they were both gone out of the house, and our commitment was, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it together. So
Right.
she's part of everything that I do, and she's very sensitive to my needs. If I need some man time, some space, whatever, then she'll say, "Hey, why don't you, go do something with somebody, or get out of here for a couple of days, or do whatever." So, but it was a challenge when we first came to faith, because although we were different, we still had that learned behavior, and all we really knew how to do was fight.
right.
Yeah.
And Sherry knew how to
Which
fry
comes
chicken.
so easily.
Sherry knew how to fry chicken and make gravy. And that was it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I saw in one of your posts the fried chicken the other day. And,
It
oh
was
my
fried chicken
gosh.
the other day. I wrote a song on the food album that was a protest, because we were at some friend's house for Easter Sunday, and they were talking about her fried chicken, and I said, "Yeah, but Mama won't fry no chicken." So I wrote a song called Mama Won't Fry No Chicken.
Oh, that's great.
But anyway, so she's real sensitive to what I need, and I'm real sensitive to her. But we had that same learned behavior, and so one of the things that we had to decide, and we really had to consciously make this decision, what the atmosphere of our home was going to be like.
Yeah.
We knew what chaos was, and so we made a conscious decision that we would have a home that was full of peace. And so we have worked hard together for really, well, this December will be the two marriages combined, it'll be 50 years.
Wow.
Yes.
To establish that and to maintain that peace.
Yeah, dude, that's wow, that's incredible. And the fact that you split up, thanks to Granny, and then but then y'all realize we can make this work. We need to put it together,
Right?
And you weren't afraid of it, and you stuck with it, and you made a marriage what a marriage is, and that's a great attribute, and God bless you for staying.
Yeah, I put a picture in the book. I know you can't see it, but this picture, there's 3 documents here. So Sherry, when we signed up for Social Security, we're both 69,
right?
And, they wouldn't let her sign up unless she had a copy of her marriage license and her birth certificate. I don't know why, but that's what they wanted. So we had to go get it. And we went to get the marriage license, and the woman, she's typing on her computer, and she goes, "Now, which one of these marriage licenses do you want?" We want both of them. And so we left there, and I said, "Hey, let's go get a copy of our divorce papers." So that's what that picture is. We call it the trifecta.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So, now, and you said you've had some struggles with your kids. Now, is that just because you're always out traveling around, running with the music, or is that just basic, normal kids?
No, our kids
parent
are
things.
I mean, we met Jessica, of course, which was, that's a whole nother story that I probably shouldn't start down that trail.
Yeah.
Because that's a big story. But no, our kids our family has been intact. Our kids have just, they've been stellar. They have, struggles just like any family does.
Right.
And we went through a period of very harsh religious legalism when our kids were growing up, and which
now explain what you mean by that, because this is something I think a lot of people need to hear too.
Right. Well,
especially in this day and age,
religious legalism is when there's more emphasis on rules and than there is on really experiencing the love of God. And so you're trying to get God to be on your side by following all the rules. And Jesus came to do something for us that we couldn't do for ourselves, and that was to fulfill the law of God. Now, that doesn't mean the rules still don't apply, because the laws in the Bible are really prescriptions for the abundant life that Jesus died to bring us.
Right.
But a lot of religions are caught in that we have to gain God's favor and we have to earn our righteousness, when Jesus gave us his righteousness as a gift. And so in doing that, that was very hard on Amanda and Jason growing up, because we were very strict religiously, and, you know, just stupid things like no Christmas tree, can't have a TV. Things like that were just really, terrible. But the thing that I'm so thankful for is that they still love us. We still love them, and they don't hate God.
Right.
And so if you're out there and you've struggled with that kind of thing, then I would encourage you to really dive in. You know, if you want to email me or do something, I can point you to some resources that would help you get through that kind of mentality, that works mentality that just is such a cruel taskmaster.
Yeah. And it can be overwhelming, and then you just get lost and it just completely falls apart. And just for everybody listening on the podcast version, we're talking with Jimmie Bratcher, blues sensation, the Reverend Jimmie Bratcher, and talking with him. You can go to his website. It's www.jimmie Bratcher.com. And go there. You can find how to contact him. You can find out where he's playing. You can buy his books. You can buy his albums. You can probably pick up a couple dogs and cats. Who knows? There's so many things available on that website, and all the great work that you do, and the nonprofits that they can participate in. Man, Jimmie. So now what is next? I mean, you've got it really. I'm kind of exhausted just listening to all that you've been doing, for God's sakes. It's like, wow, just take a breath, but you don't. You keep plugging away, man.
Well, we are, got to work while it's day, but we're continuing to tour, and that we post that online. Not quite as active as we were pre-COVID, but I kind of like that. So it's very, very comfortable, very strategic. I'm working right now on another book that I'm writing specifically targeted at inmates, called When I Am Free. The idea is that, it's the time has come, which 97% of all, there's 2.4 million people incarcerated in America, making that the equal to the size of Houston, Texas, the entire population. 97% of them are going to be released at some time.
Right.
And so the day comes, the time's there, the gate clicks, the lock clicks, the gate swings open. Who walks out? Who's that guy? What's he like? And we just got the opportunity yesterday. A prison contacted us, and they have an in-prison television network. And they've asked us to contribute to that. So
that's interesting.
Recording specifically some programming for that, just targeted at that. And then we'll continue to put it out to the public. We're not just a prison ministry, but we're a people ministry. So
right. Wow.
That kind of thing. So
well, let them know we've got a live stream show that we're willing to let them use if they want.
Sure.
It's something that they can, either love or hate. More likely hate, especially when
they're eating earthworms. They might really enjoy it.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
there would be that entertainment part
what
there.
are you going to eat next time? I mean, next show. What? I mean, this has to be a trend, right, Andy?
Well, Well, we met the Bacon Whisperer who does a taste testing on his channel.
Okay.
Right? And so we kind of got into it where we found, I mean, very easy stuff like the hot or the tangy ketchup Doritos, right?
Yeah.
Those were weird, right?
That's fun.
Very easy
Gross,
stuff. But then, unfortunately, the riffraff that Kristian works with decided that it would be funny if they got him a little more disgusting things. So they got him pickle flavored cotton candy for one show. And then this is definitely scraping the bottom of the barrel here with the Earthworm Jerky. I don't, so it's become fun.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah. So bacon cheddar crickets.
Bacon cheddar crickets.
There we go.
But thanks for plugging the ideas here.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kristian, so here's the deal, though.
This. Well, so yeah, I ate some hot mustard Doritos, which were not. It's not pickle cotton candy or Earthworm Jerky.
Or Earthworm Jerky.
I'm more than willing to jump in on this train and eat the disgusting thing.
Yeah. Well.
But my coworkers like me.
Yeah. Apparently. Hey, doesn't mean my coworkers don't like me. They just like to see me writhing and suffer.
That's not healthy.
Trust me, working with them isn't healthy either. So
right.
It's not a mixed bag. It's straightforward pain one way or the other. So now
there is some outreach needed apparently at Kristian's place of work. So Jimmie,
we might need Jimmie to come in and do a show.
We may need you to come in and spread the word there to help out.
Maybe you could come play for us and clear the dock and save a lot of these guys that need to be saved, for God's sakes. It's let me tell you, there's some problems going on at my job that I don't know. I know the music soothes the savage beast, but some of these guys, well, look what they do to me,
Yeah.
But
they might be beyond saving at this point.
That's true. So I'm very intrigued about this new book. I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I did do a little time back in the day, not lengthy years, but did a few months, and I learned what it was like in there, and so yeah, hearing the you get released. That is an amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling to be able to get out and, again, depending on where you're at in your life, you get to start over and get things rolling. And no better way to do it than with, good people behind you and the good Lord backing you up.
Yeah, it's to me, it would be amazing. Can you imagine somebody been locked up 35 years and just trying, like the guy that texts me, he's like 20 years, I mean, we barely had cell phones, and
right.
And now it's like everything lives, our whole world is, and so just trying to adapt, it's got to be pretty overwhelming, but I want, especially in that particular environment, I want people to realize the value that they have, because that's part of the issue is that so many people don't find purpose or value, and that's a key component to a happy life. And so acknowledging that value and helping them to discover the value that God has for them is really, it's revolutionary. I mean, it was for me. I know it was you. And so, helping people to be able to do that is really, that's the thing that keeps us motivated.
Yeah, dude, that's, I just think it's so great that now, if we're not in prison, where are we going to be able to see you next? Where are you going to be out on the road on?
Well,
or do I need to go commit some major crimes?
Yeah, do we need to get?
I would not advise that. If you're going to do it, I'd do it in Kansas, though, not Missouri.
Yeah, right.
No, we'll be at Knuckleheads on August the 4th.
Oh, beautiful!
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing an opening act for a guy named Hayden Sayers, who's a guitar player from Texas. And then on the 5th, we'll be in Rogers, Arkansas. And then we've got some other stuff spread out. I will be, hang on, I can maybe tell you where I'll be. I'll be in Marshfield, Missouri on the 25th. We'll be Father's Day weekend. We're in Troy, Pennsylvania at Victory Church doing a motorsport
Oh yeah,
show.
saw that. Yep.
That's an interesting one because the church is in a town of 1,200. They have 1,500 people in attendance at the church, and they will have 4,000 people turn out for that event.
Wow.
4th of July weekend, the 2nd, we're in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
The 16th, I'm preaching in Blue Springs, Missouri.
Yeah.
31st of July, if you want to have a unique experience, we will be at 6 p.m. on the 31st, which is a Monday. We will be under the bridge at First and Grand in Kansas City, doing a concert for the homeless community that lives nearby there.
Right. And I was actually going to ask you about that because I remember reading about it. I just couldn't remember the dates.
Yeah.
Now, setting up the logistics for that, just off, I'm sorry to totally derail the conversation now, but
That's all right.
I was very intrigued about this because I think it's just super cool. But now, I mean, do you got the city cooperating with you to let you do this? I mean,
Yeah, there's a ministry in Kansas City called the Worship Wagon.
Yeah.
And so for the past, I think 8 or 9 or 10 years, they've been doing this every Monday.
Oh, wow.
And so their mission is to bring a church service to the homeless community. They have a couple of locations, but the one that I do, as well as the church that we attend, does a week there. I do every month. It has 5 Mondays. I do that Monday, and so they have permission from the city to do that. They bring a complete worship service, and then they feed everybody.
Yeah, nice.
So it's and then they have resources for people that want help beyond that. They have all that plugged in, and those people are there. But their main mission is just to bring worship service to the homeless community.
Right on.
That's incredible.
So,
dude, that's awesome. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
And okay, so again, and anybody who wants to help contribute to this or any of these kinds of causes that Jimmie's out there doing, Jimmie and Sherry, I should say, let's the website again, www.jimmiebratcher.com. Jimmie is Jimmie, Bratcher, BRATCHER.com. Go there. You can find out where he's going to be at, how you can contribute, how you can help out in any way, shape, or form. There's all sorts of different variations. I'm sure you can pick up his book. You can pick up his or books, I should say, his albums. They are all there. You got T-shirts. I mean, what else you got?
No, we gave up on T-shirts. We have some, but they were just too hard to maintain, So we drop those. But
well, speaking of which, I just want you to know I have one here for you, sir, from our show. So I'll have to get with you. I know you come by the church every now and then, but we'll figure out a way to get together, and I can drop that off to you because
we'll be there this weekend.
Okay, beautiful. Well, then
this weekend.
Right on. Then I will see you then. But Jimmie, I know you've got a lot to get going on, and I don't want to take up too much more, but I just want to ask, would you be willing to come back and share some more of your stories with us at another date?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, dude. And because I also want to give you an update on how much we end up with the raffle for the book that you signed so graciously. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And with his latest release, Far Enough, in the book as well. But yeah, Jimmie, I'd love to get you back on here and have some more fun with you. But right now, we've got a little something that it's
questions
and the acoustics in the new studio are amazing.
Just incredible.
Incredible. It's dead sound in here, but when that guy speaks, it's like it's just echoing through the halls of
justice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got a little game we like to play with all our guests that have been on the show. It's called Random Questions of Insanity. There is no right or wrong answers. But
Are they all the same questions for everybody, or do you get new ones?
Oh no, they're pretty much.
There are a few staples that we like to ask, but then we also whoever we're talking to, we do bring in some new ones. So
let's have it.
But yeah, we do have 2 base questions that we usually start off with, and I think both would be very good for you. First off is, what is the best James Bond film?
Goldfinger.
Yes. All right. There. Oh wait, no. There it is. There's the dinger.
Right,
there we go. All right. And then all right. Sub question off of that. Who is the best James Bond?
Sean Connery.
There we go. All right. Now, what is your favorite sandwich, and what all is on that sandwich?
My favorite sandwich, Arthur Bryant's beef.
Yes. The world famous Kansas City famous Arthur Bryant's. Yeah, it's and it is a huge sandwich. So it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Red cream soda, by the way. You have to have red cream soda. And fries.
And you gotta have fries.
Lard.
And,
that's what they do.
Yeah,
they used to do that. I assume they still do that.
We would hope. All right, now the rest of these are going to be very random, so be prepared. And Andrew, go ahead and hit him with one.
Yeah, what was your favorite toy growing up as a child?
A guitar.
Yeah. Excellent.
I was gonna say, well, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. Ice cream, cake, or pie?
Ice cream.
Oh, yes. All right. It's my fave. All right. Go ahead, Andy.
Your food is bad at a restaurant. Do you say anything?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, no,
right.
just flat out.
It depends. How's that?
Okay.
Depends.
All right.
If the service is bad and the food is bad, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But if the service is good, but the food
And
just
the food
sucks,
is bad, then you
it depends on how bad it is. That's a degree, It's like
sure
on the scale of badness, like over here, then I'll probably say something.
Okay.
Now,
I'll probably say something and still leave a big tip.
Yeah. No, I mean, servers work hard, especially if they're doing a great job. The back of the house is not this, responsible for the front of the house and vice versa.
Yeah.
But now, would you send it back? Like if something's just like literally just god awful, would you send it back and just say, I need, would you go with something different? I guess is what I'm going to ask.
Yes.
Yeah, you would change it up. Okay. Yeah, good to know. All right. Let's see. Where is your happy place?
I'm in it.
There you go.
Now that's your studio right there, isn't it? That's your little home studio.
That's my studio, yeah.
/ office.
Mess right now because I'm rebuilding pedal boards to get ready to go on the road. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You don't want to see the other side of this camera, trust me.
Yeah.
Andy, go ahead.
It's your night to order pizza for the group. What are we getting?
We're getting. Don't shout me down now.
Hey, this is your night. We're
getting from Minsky's Hawaiian pizza.
Ooh,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
With pineapple.
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
Now, thick or thin crust?
Thin.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
All
we're gonna have to hang out and eat some pizza. And get some ice cream. Oh, what kind of ice cream? If you were gonna have ice cream, what kind of ice cream? I forgot that.
All kinds of ice cream.
Yes. Doesn't matter. It's ice cream.
That's right.
What is your number one bucket list item?
I guess would be to, I can't break it down to one, but I would say to live long and to be healthy.
That's
Okay.
hey,
Yeah.
that is perfect. Andy, one more.
What's the one song that comes on the radio that you can't help but sing along to?
Well, my favorite song is Axis Bold as Love by Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I would throw that out there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All
little
right.
that's great.
psychedelic.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about on that end, but I really do. It's just the
I know.
Let's see. All right, let's go with this. You have 30 seconds to tell the world something. Go.
Jesus loves you. Period.
You now have
30
26 seconds.
I was
to
Oh, that one gets a DJ air
Yeah,
horn right
that's
there.
a good-
There you go.
All right. Jimmie, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
Really, really, really do appreciate you. Again, the new album or release, I guess. What do you put it under now? It's not now.
Well, I call it an album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
A new album, Far Enough.
Far
by
Enough.
Jimmie Bratcher. Top in the blues charts. It's out there. Like I said, even if you just kind of like blues, it's got so many other influences mixed in with
Yeah.
it. It's a delicious album. That's a great way to put it, I think. Because
There you go.
it really covers so many different styles. So great sound, great music. Jimmie Bratcher out on tour. Check him out wherever you can be. And Jimmie, again, thank you for being with
thank you
us.
so
We will
much.
have you back on. And we are raffling that book off right here. So be listening up. And thank you, sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We appreciate you being with us, my man.
Thank you, guys. You were great. Thank you so much.
Right on.
you,
Thank you,
Jimmie.
Jimmie. Have a wonderful day, brother. Thank you so much. There he goes. Jimmie Bratcher off to play the blues for a lot of people out in the imprisonment and whatnot. Man, that's
Yeah.
that's got to be rough, though. You know,
It's a tough,
I would
I'm
think.
sure it's a tough gig. Yeah.
Tough crowd, I tell you. Ooh.
Right.
But all right, well, listen, man, and again, if you need to find out anything about Jim, we've got him on the crawler here, www.jimmiebratcher.com. We'll have a link to the website or on our website
we
associated with the show. This man, he's just got so much that he does, and I'm kind of excited about that the homeless shelter or under the bridge thing. I think that's
yeah,
really cool.
that's really cool.
So that'll be great. But anyway, go check him out. Get the album, for goodness sakes. It really is. It's just really cool to listen to. Anyway, let's get
Let's pay the bills.
you know what? We've got to pay the bills. That's right.
Let's pay the bills.
We got this fabulous sponsor that we like to call. Well, she calls herself Mrs. A's
Mrs. A?
famous salsa buena, and
And
well,
then
let's let somebody tell you all about it.
let's do that.
Heyo, do you like salsa? Are you tired of pretending you like what the mass-produced companies are giving you? Well, now you don't have to. That's right, Mrs. A's famous salsa buena is here to treat you right. They got 3 flavors like medium, hot, and salsa verde, all made with fresh, all-natural ingredients in a unique blended, authentic salsa with fresh cilantro and no onions. That's right, no more onion breath for you. It's the perfect complement to your favorite foods like burritos, steaks, flautas, nachos, enchiladas, chicken, and of course, chips. But there's so much more. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena has gone from a reward for her students now to the shelves in over 500 stores in California, and now it's expanded to Oregon, Nevada, Wyoming, and soon across the US of A. Amazingly fresh, all-natural, authentic, and delicioso, Mrs. A's famous salsa buena is near you. To find out where, go to www.mrsafamous.com, and you'll also get some great recipes, info, and so much more. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. Reward yourself and eat buena.
Oh, it's refreshment time. I see. All right, very well.
Absolutely, yeah. Get some snacks. if you need to.
I'm going to mail you some earthworm jerky. By the way, the gentleman at work, Mr. Doss,
Yes.
said that I took it like a champ and that it was very entertaining.
Nice.
He's sent me. Now these shouldn't be too horrible.
What?
Peeps, hot tamales, fierce cinnamon, and I think this is what he's thinking of trying to get me nice. And then kettle corn peeps. Now, see,
God, kettle corn peeps. So you're mixing popcorn and marshmallows, which that's.
I don't know.
I mean, if it's but
it's gonna hurt your teeth one way or another because that's just a lot of sweet.
Right. Yeah.
So
no.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
hey, there was a chocolate covered tarantula that he was seriously threatening me with, and I screamed like a girl with
chocolate covered anything is probably pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, Andrew. Let me see about maybe
send me the chocolate covered tarantula. I will eat the chocolate covered tarantula.
Will you?
Yes.
Well, we'll just have to see about them, won't we? All right. I think we will.
I mean, the tarantula is dead, right?
As far as we know.
It's a live chocolate covered tarantula.
Freshly dipped and thrown at you.
You have to dip it in the chocolate.
Yeah. He just said, I will buy that for him.
Yes.
He'll do it. He will do it.
All
right.
Eat it.
There we go. I will tell you this much. This taste has not left my mouth. This earthworm jerky is, and I'm bringing it to work, Mr. Doss.
Yeah. I think you should give the worst.
Did you see how many times I burped during the show? I had to keep
No, dude. For once, you know the expression it looks worse than it is. Yes. No, that looked exactly like it was. Your face gave you didn't have to say anything. You really didn't have to say anything. But man,
I'm telling you, I drank coffee. I had a breath mint.
No, and honestly, that's the worst too. When there's a flavor that you have eaten that you just can't get out of your mouth.
Yeah, it just doesn't go away.
Awful. No.
But it's over with. I did it. There.
I think we need some sad. We need some sad music.
There it is. There's my sad music.
Not that.
That's
Whoa!
Oh no! Oh,
okay.
Oh, no. All right. Sorry. Okay. There it is. Yes, we need that. Oh, I need a bigger soundboard to have.
I think you need a bigger soundboard because we need the Hulk theme in there.
Yeah, we'd really. Oh, that was the Hulk theme. That's what that was.
That's what it is.
Bruce Banner walking in the rain.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Down the lonely road.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you put the YouTube link.
Yeah, for his bacon song. Yeah,
for his bacon song on there. So hopefully Tony Adams gets to see that. All right. Well, you know what? We haven't talked with him for a while, and it's about time. I'm pretty sure he's pent up with a lot of anxiety over all the playoffs, and I know he's been posting stuff online about the boxing and all sorts of different stuff. So now it's time for this.
Do you like sports? Do you like your sports in your face? Do you like to know the truth about your sports? Well, now it's time to get real and get truthful with all things sports. That's why now on the Random Christian Show, it's time for the man, the myth, the one who brings sports all to the interweb world. It is time for Tommy the Truth.
There he is. Oh,
There he
look
is,
at him.
checking the ticker.
He's checking the ticker, looking at it. There he is. Thomas, what
He's
is
back.
going on, man? He's back. He's reconnected. He's wired in. He's soundproofed. He's ready to go.
Okay, I don't want to talk about sports right now. What I want to talk about is I need to know the truth on what that tasted like. It looked like a you were eating a
Did you not
cockroach.
see?
It looked like a cockroach.
It's like eating an earthworm that's flavored, except dried up, chewy, and kind of crunchy in the beginning.
Okay, so it's crunchy in the beginning and then it turns gooey.
And then it turns chewy.
Oh man, yeah, like
I don't need to relive this right now.
I guess I don't think you really want to think about it right now. It just looked like, oh my goodness. I hope they send you something better.
Oh, well, apparently I think Mr. Doss might be sending somebody a chocolate covered tarantula.
yes.
Now
I'm
I've had chocolate covered ants before. It was like a crunchy type of chocolate candy. There really was it didn't taste like an insect. So I've had chocolate covered ants.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. And I've actually had what was the other thing? Chocolate covered grasshopper. And it was almost just like a big ant. And that wasn't too bad.
Right.
It wasn't like a huge grasshopper, but
Yeah.
I could just imagine, though. I just looked at it and I said, "Oh my God!" I wonder if it's gooey inside, like crunchy on the outside and gooey on the inside type of crap.
It's yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Just imagine the worst tasting.
I mean, like there's some things that I just think that you don't need to mess with, right?
Yeah. And earthworm jerky is not it, but
and again, to my point, we are going to need to get creative when the zombies come. So, like, this is part of it.
I think the worms belong on the hook when you go fishing, and that's where they belong, on the hook.
They belong. Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So there, it's this right there doesn't even cover it.
This is a good
Yeah,
idea.
I just had to ask because that looked just like I said, it looked like kind of like, I know it was supposed to be a worm, but it almost looked like a roach with 4 legs sticking out of it. It looked kind of weird.
Yeah.
No, it was just the way it was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the shape looked completely unappealing too. Like, and then the crunch when it hit your mouth was just like, I mean, jerky's not supposed to crunch, right?
No, not
it's
really.
Not supposed to. So like that was weird. Like, so I it was fun for me up until that point where it just, and I know we're going over your segment, Tommy, but man, no,
I'm fine.
Okay, it's awful. It was it like, again,
it was horribly awful.
It looked exactly as bad as I'm sure it was for you. Like, it just seemed awful. But this gets me thinking, like, you know what, Tommy, I think we should co-write a script called The Apocalypse Cafe that is the 2 guys that are trying to feed people in the apocalypse where there's nothing else, where they have to get creative.
And then you just eat whatever you can get a hold of. And the thing is, I was curious, maybe he does
cannibalism.
Yeah, right, worm cannibalism. But I wonder if he has chocolate covered ants. You should ask him and say, if you got those, and you should try those, because those are actually not too bad. They're really not.
Yeah, no, this is proof that you can find pretty much anything you need on the internet. So
right. Yeah.
All right. So sports. What has been going on, Thomas, that you've been ranting and raving about all sorts of stuff. And you in this personal war with Skip Bayless. What's going on there?
I don't know if I call it a personal war, because he doesn't probably even think I exist. It's just I've been saying certain things to him on Twitter. And this is a guy, you have to understand, I've been listening to him forever. He's been on forever. Yeah. And he's a Cowboy fan, just like I am, right? But the problem with to me with Skip Bayless is that he seems like he always gets too high or too low with everything. You see, when it was 2016 and Dak was going crazy and Zeke and the rookies were just killing it. He was always saying, "How about them Cowboys?" on every single show. And I think that's when Stephen A. was on the show. Yeah. And I would watch him. I go, I'm happy everything is going well, but let's wait till we get closer to the playoffs.
Right.
And then recently, as in recent times, with the stuff that's going on with Shannon Sharp, he made him upset when he was comparing. Brady and I guess Brady and Shannon Sharp, like as athletes and players, it's like, dude, it's two different positions. You don't compare things like that. I don't know if you guys saw the show, but Shannon Sharp was really upset, dude.
Yeah, well, no, he really got he got fired up, dude.
There have been several shows where you can tell it's uncomfortable with them. Like I mean, and like and it's funny too because like with us. Like we rub each other and we get under each other, but it's all fun and playful, right?
Unless you're Carl Gottlieb.
Right. Yeah. It seems genuinely uncomfortable with them. Like I could only imagine being like a producer in there and saying like, "Do we cut?"
Cringing.
Well, and that's the thing,
everybody's just like,
he makes Shannon Sharp seem like he didn't have a great NFL career. He's in the Hall of Fame. He got in the Hall of Fame in 2011. Okay.
Yeah.
He was, I believe, if I'm correct, the first tight end to ever go over 10,000 yards in receiving.
Right.
Yeah.
He was named the All-Decade Team in 1990. This guy is arguably in the top 5 of tight ends of all time. I have Ozzie Newsome at number 1, but he's up there in that top 3 or 5. And you're making him sound like he made him sound like he did nothing in the NFL. And he goes, "You can't compare me to Tom Brady. It's two different positions." It was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
And that was the thing too. It was such a moot point that it was like, you're this famous reporter, your stats, you have all these great opinions about sports, whatever, but then you compare a tight end to a quarterback. Well, how does that even add up? It does not make sense. And Shannon Sharp, Shannon Sharp's all about Shannon Sharp.
I think he was looking at the longevity of how long Brady played compared to Sharp. But let's remember the two positions. Tight ends have to block; they get hit more. And now with the new rules, you can't hit the quarterback. You can't hit the quarterback no more.
Yeah.
So and he was comparing that. That's why Brady played into a longer period of time in his 40s. I don't know if we'll see it again, but they're protecting the quarterback so much, so you can't compare the two positions and say somebody had a better career than the other guy because it's two different positions. It was insane.
Right. Yeah. And I've worked in radio a long time, and I've watched. I used to sit right next to the sports talent for 957 The Game in San Francisco, and I would hear their pre-show meetings, and they were like, "Okay, I'm taking this opinion, you take that opinion," right? Just to get that discussion on the radio,
right?
And I don't know if that First Take is like, or Undisputed. That's what that show is now, right?
Right.
That Undisputed like does that because it I don't know. It just seems that.
Well, there's a point where you get a guy riled up, but then when he's starting to take off his glasses, and then he gets upset, and then the stuff that happened with Damar Hamlin, the guy that got hurt for the Bills, when he sent out that ridiculous tweet, Skip Bayless sent out a tweet when he got hurt saying, "Oh, are they going to postpone the game this late in the season? Are they going to postpone this game this late in the season?" Like there was no need to postpone the game because a guy almost died on the field when he played, against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's the one thing that set everybody off. I go, dude, are you human? Are you a human being? Yeah. That's ridiculous. And then that got me to even like, dude, all you care about is like sports is your whole life. That might be it, but this is a human being. He could die on the field. And that's what really, that got Shannon so mad. He didn't show up I guess he didn't show up to work the next day. Then he came on to work the next day and said, "I'm sorry, I was upset." And then Skip interrupted him again and said all this stuff. And he goes, "I can't even get a paragraph in, Skip, without you saying something."
Yeah.
He must really need the money to be putting up with a bunch of that because honestly, after a while, it's like, come on, man.
Shannon Sharp's going to move on to his own show, and he's going to get paid big time.
Yeah, he already said he decided to leave the show. He's going to go do something else, and then they're going to have to find somebody else that's going to put it with Skip's antics. Because Stephen A is his own talent anyway. I think he left because he wanted to do his own thing, but they got to try to find somebody that has the patience. And let's remember how old Skip Bayless is. He may be like the old man saying, "Get off my lawn now," because I know he's in his 70s or 80s, isn't he?
Right?
Skip?
Yeah, he's up there. No,
he's up there. Yeah. Well, Tommy, there you go. Maybe you should step in and start co-hosting with.
You want me to battle? I would battle him. That's the thing. I know just as much about the Cowboys as he does. I don't know about other sports, but I can go head to him with the Cowboy talk. He probably won't want to hear from me because I'm the realistic fan. I go, Skip, you think they're going to go to the Super Bowl every year? You're just unrealistic, bro. They're not going to go. I'm picked it since 07. You're we would go the definite war on the Cowboys because I just see, like I said, he never can stay even keel. Like he's always way too high on them, or he's always like way too low on them. He's never evened out. And that's why I can't stand about him.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I mean, hey, who knows? I don't know. And again, don't get me wrong. Shannon Sharpe is probably not one of the greatest people. He's got a huge ego.
Sure.
But when Shannon Sharpe is actually the sensitive one and the one really the voice of reason in a show, you really need to start looking at yourself and what you're saying and what you're doing, because there's something definitely going wrong.
And the thing is, Shannon hasn't been doing it as long as Skip. I think I expect a little bit more leadership from someone that's been on TV and doing the radio personality and been interviewing people as long as Skip. Shannon's the new kid on the block.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So now that we're done berating Skip Bayless and all that.
It took me I need another hour to really berate him.
I know, right? Yeah, we'll get the after show going on, and we'll do the.
We'll have to do the after dark version.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Wrecking Skip Bayless after dark. Watch after midnight. Not for the faint at horror,
Right. Okay. So speaking of punching Skip Bayless, how's boxing going? You've got a quite the handful of posts all about boxing and some UFC stuff. Do you want to wait? Do you know
what I think I'm going to do?
We got playoffs,
and I'm going to tell you this now. I think what I'm going to do is next week will be. I'm going to do some more research about some recent fights that I saw that I've heard that have been some really bad decisions. But God, boxing's been fixed for years. That's nothing new.
Well, right.
But I think I'm going to wait till next week to do the boxing and also talk about what's happening with the big news today. The PGA Tour and the Live Tour are merging.
Right.
They're merging.
Wait,
so
what?
now the PGA Tour and the Live Tour, which is Saudi Arabia, they're merging. They're merging into one.
What?
So that's going to help the Live Tour in Saudi Arabia get more, get more promoted in the United States, which is what Saudi Arabia wants. But a lot of the golfers are mad, like, well, you told us to stay over here. We were loyal to the PGA Tour. We can go on to the Live Tour, make more money, and now you're going to merge. That's the big news. It's huge, but I'm going to talk about that next week.
Yeah, well, listen, those golfers don't need to complain about the money that they make. Geez, good Lord.
Right. I know.
Do they take hits? Do they take a fastball into the knee? No, No, they go out there, and trust me, I love golf. I used to play like 3 times a week. If I could do that again, my world would be so amazingly complete. But these guys are all these professional sports guys are so overpaid for what they do. And
the merger, dude, it's all about this money right here. Saudi Arabia's got so much money. They got like $1 billion of these $1 bills, if not more, billions and billions. That's what it's all about. But I'm going to talk about that for sure next week.
Okay.
All right. So let's get back to the playoffs then, because we need to get rolling with these. So you can't call a sweep on the basketball. Are you talking about hockey?
Well, the hockey one's going pretty good so far because my Vegas guys, I picked 4-2. They're up 2-0 over Florida. But Nuggets fans, guess what? You can't talk about no sweep no more.
Right.
No.
Talk about. In fact, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this apart. I'm gonna throw that. See that? That's part of the broom, Nuggets fans. Now you're still gonna win the series 4-2. I predict they'll win 4-2. So here's one part of it, right? Let's throw it over there. Let's take the other stick part. We'll throw it over there, and we'll be done with it. The sweep's done.
There,
But-
sweeps are done, except for the in hockey. And dude, the way I saw some clips of how the Panthers were playing.
Right.
They look like they were just drawn out, man.
Well, I think they were the fourth seeded team to get in, or the fourth in their division, if I'm correct. And no one expected them even to make it close to the finals. So in the Vegas, I mean, look at the goals scored. This 12 to 4. 12 to 4. I mean, they're dominating. They won the first game 5-2. That's a dominating score. Then the next one 7-2.
And they seem super aggressive. I mean, the Vegas team just seems very, very aggressive. As to where I think their defense may be a little lacking, but again, they hit so hard and so fast. There's all the other team can do is just play defense.
Yeah. You remember a few years ago, they were expansion. They made it to the finals. You got, Brett Halden and Alec Martinez and Jonathan, I hope I said this night, Marchessault. Jonathan Marchessault, I believe that is. Those guys are just banging away right now. And I'm not really surprised that they made the finals, because they're these expansion teams, again, they come in, and with the expansion draft, they get, all the good players from the other teams that got 25 and up, and their studs from Russia and Poland and Finland. And they're much quicker, ready to go as far as competing and getting far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I don't know if there's going to be a sweep at 4-2, but the way it's looking right now, Florida is just getting outclassed, outworked, out-hustled. I mean, this could be the more of the potential sweep in the hockey part than of course, the NBA is not a sweep anymore with Denver and Miami Heat.
So definitely Vegas looking good. Yeah, who knows? Panthers may, after some more rest, get a little fired up. I think Vegas is definitely going to be taking it. Not that I'm I don't know. I just think it's whatever.
Well, could you just imagine the party in Vegas? What kind of party that's going to be?
Oh man, that's going to be crazy. Yeah.
There'll be strippers and cocaine and wait, that's already there. Never mind. That's already there. All right. So let's move on to the NBA, because this is actually turning into kind of interesting. We got these two teams. And of course, the Nuggets were not supposed to be there. Had tons of rest, as to where, and they're a young team, as to where the Heat, they've got the experience and the know-how, but just not as much rest. And where are we sitting at on the?
It's 1-1 right now.
It is 1-1. Okay.
I would say experience and know-how, but Miami was a very low seed. I don't think they were expected really to make the finals. They were a lower seed. That's come up. But the thing what I liked about Miami, what they did the last game, this is the key. Djokovic, Nikolai. Everybody calls him the Joker, Nikolai Joker.
Right.
I thought Djokovic, no Joker, whatever. But with the Joker, what the key is that making him put out more assists. He's 0-4 when he scores 40 points or more in the playoffs. 0-4. So what you got to do is that you don't need to double team him. Just put one on him, try to harass him, and when he puts out more assists, like 10 to 20 assists a game, whatever he does, the other guys score, and they got chances to score. So the key is that you play defense on these other guys. Okay, play defense on Porter and Gordon and Murray and Brown, on those guys. And just let him do his thing. Let him get his points. Remember back in the day, Michael Jordan scored 61 points against the Celtics in the playoff game?
Yeah.
And they lost.
And
they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the key. Don't double team Joker, because he'll throw it out to somebody else and they'll score. Cut down on those assists. He usually averages, I think, 12 to 15 assists.
Right.
Let him get his points, and then hopefully hold everybody down to a reasonable amount of points.
Yeah,
and just
play the whole
game
team.
plan.
Don't play the player. Play the whole
That's right. That's the key, and that's the only way they're gonna win this series. I still think Denver's got 4-2, but that's the only way they make it interesting, I guess.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Denver's just got the drive and I think they've just got so much going for them. The mojo, I guess we can put it. So I think that's really, I know a lot of people, you can't just go off just riding off the win high and stuff. Yeah, you can. And these guys are young, they're fired up. And like I said, I think the coaches got them all motivated the right way. So yeah, they had a loss, but they're still banging. They're still hitting hard. But again, you're right. The Panthers, it's you got to play the team. You can't play the player. You can't. I hate it when you see that, everybody triple or double teams one player because he's the hot guy. It's like,
Right.
no, you can't do that because then the ball gets dished. And then,
the thing about Joker, for a big guy, he's a big dude. He's really good at assisting. He's really good at seeing the court. He's really, for a big man, he's a great assist person. So you have to respect that part of his game.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like when the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
when they were real big, it was like, and then everybody started focusing on Curry, and it's like, and next thing you know, Thompson's over there just shooting threes and
Draymond's hanging around the basket and doing something.
Right.
And so it's you can't leave the rest of the team alone. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Be aware, but don't focus on it. And I think that's been part of the problem. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting series for sure.
Right. Like I said, the whole key is that, the numbers don't lie. 0-4 when and that's, I didn't even know that. My friend kind of pointed that out. I was, dude, 0-4 when Djokovic scores 40 points or more.
That's such a crazy stat. That is such a crazy stat too.
So,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, and again, going back to the Michael Jordan thing, I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So listen. So now, what do you think is going to be the final for the NBAs?
Well, I got to go. I stood 4 games to 2 Denver, and I still got to stick with that.
Okay, you're sticking with that.
And I was also saying, you know how hard it is to win 8 games in a row. You look at Denver; if they beat the Lakers 4 games, and then if they would have swept, that's hard to win 8 games in a row. I know Miami's going to take a game or 2. They have to.
Yeah.
It makes sense for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually, I'm not a huge Vegas fan. I mean, I don't know. Let's just we'll have to save that for another show. But hey, I see the sweep. I see it happen. I think it'd be great. Whatever. It's an expansion team. That's great and all.
I want to see the sweep or whatever. I just want to see the party. I want to see the confetti come down on a Las Vegas strip. I bet you they'll be throwing out, playing cards all over the place and chips and all that stuff. It's going to be so amazing. And I don't believe they've ever had any type of parade championship for any team, correct? This will be their first one.
Yeah.
Right.
This will be their first one.
And with the Raiders, it's going to be a long time. So.
And then they got the baseball team coming in a few years. The A's are moving up there, so we'll see what happens, right?
That's right.
Yeah. But you want to see a party. Well, it is Tuesday, so tune into the street cams and you'll see the party here in a little while.
That's right.
But all right, Tommy. Hey, man, so glad to have you back, and looks like everything's working great, brother.
Thank you.
So, and yes, next week we're going to be talking boxing and maybe a little UFC action.
Well, it's going to be the state of right. It's going to be the state of boxing. I mean, from 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, I loved it. But what's happened recent with boxing and more people have turned to the UFC. I actually sometimes think Dana White should take over boxing, dude. I think you do a better job.
That would be impressive, man. That would be smart.
That could be interesting.
And I can't get into it, but we'll talk more about the boxing next week, and then also about this merger with Live Golf and the PGA Tour, which is blowing people away today. It's just blowing everybody.
Right. Go from one spectrum to the other. It's gonna be
like, oh my god! And then my good friend, I'll say this: Wallace Ram Jackson, Ram fan in Greeley, Colorado, was the one that alerted me to the news this morning. He was texting me like crazy, going, "Oh my god!" Because he's a big golf fan. He wants to try me. He wants to take me to the course sometime. But he was alerting me on my text. Oh my god! This, I can't believe this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And it happened. So Wallace Ram Jackson, I'm going to give you credit, friend, my best friend in Greeley, Colorado.
Right on. Well, Tommy, hey, man, we're excited for you, and we'll have you on next week. And anybody who wants to check out Tommy, he's on Facebook as Tommy the Truth. You can check him out there. You're also on Instagram, right?
Tommy the Truth on Instagram, Tommy the Truth on Twitter.
And there it is right there. All the major social medias. Check him out there and yip yap with him here or on those. And get him fired up, because it don't take much apparently, unless he's and
that means you too, Skip, on Twitter.
That's
if you dare to, let's talk Cowboy football.
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Let's go. Because I don't fear no man when it comes to Cowboy football. I fear nobody. I don't care who you are.
Tommy's bringing it, and we got to get Skip Bayless on this show now. So
there we go.
we're going to do it. All right, Tommy, we'll see you next week, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Bye, guys.
There he goes. There goes Tommy,
man.
and that's our cue for us to end it. Thanks so much to everybody who joined in on the chat. Thank you very much to Jimmie Bratcher for checking in with us and hanging out. Again, his album Far Enough or his book, go to www.jimmiebratcher.com. We are raffling this sucker off. Go to the randomchristianshow@gmail.com. Put your bid in for this signed copy with the disc and everything in it. I think that's it, man. Next week. What happened? Oh, the music
Next week.
died.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Well,
Oh, well.
it happens.
Okay. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Well,
We'll just there we go.
Crickets.
That's a little more like it. It's the professionalism of the show that really keeps me hanging in.
That's
I'm
right.
not sure.
We're the best podcast in the world.
Well, according to Good Pods, we are number. Actually, we hit number 9. By the way, I'm just gonna say the number 9.
Number 9.
The number 9.
Number 9.
The number 9.
Number 9.
Let's see. Where is next
John's
week?
right there.
We've got. You hit it, then I hit it, so just back and forth.
In and out.
John Wessling, comedian extraordinaire, going to be on the show next week. In the meantime, I know I had other music on here. Well, you know what? We're just going back. I think I deleted it. I may have in the
okay.
So we're going back to the Elvis. Anyway, so yes, next week, John Wessling. Kids, we love you. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. Mrs. A. SALSA BUENA, thank you so much. This weekend, they've got the big extraordinaire virtual party for the Good Wives Network. Go to www.thegoodwivesnetwork.com and find out all about it there. In the meantime, for that guy right there, and for me,
And for that guy.
I be Kristian, he be Andy.
That's me.
We are the Random Christian Show. Want to thank you so much for being a part of this. Send us your ideas for people that you want on the show as well. We'd love to, get on whoever you'd like to see us talking with, and people that just bring good to the world. All right.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and check out. Don't forget, Mrs. A's SALSA BUENA. We love you guys. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. We're all we got out there. God bless you. We'll see you next week, kids.